as I'm here, I may as well do another one as well, just a quick one of what I was really going to talk about, which was what happened sort of immediately after the breast cancer surgery. So as a recap, I had my surgery on Friday the 28th of April 2023. I had a wide excision lumpectomy, so they went in through the nipple, so they cut half my nipple and they went in and removed the tumour. I think it took about an hour and a half, something like that. General anaesthetic. And also I had a guide wire, and I also had to go to the nuclear department, and where they put a dye in so that my surgeon, Miss Potter, could locate my lymph and take, I didn't know at the time how many she was going to take. I found she took 2 of my sentinel lymph away for biopsy, and then I would have to wait until May for the results of the tumour and the lymph. But she, at the end of the surgery, I think I was number 3 that day of her, on her book, I don't know what they call it, on her list, patient list, and can I just say how nice everybody was? Everybody was just so reassuring and kind, and I know how busy everybody was, and I know how stretched the NHS is. So I'll be forever grateful for how lovely everybody was that day, because I ask a lot of questions and they took their time to explain things to me. So anyways, but afterwards she came to see me before I was discharged and said that the operation had been a huge success and that I had very youthful breasts, so I was very pleased with that. And the only complaint I had was that they fed me biscuits, which I ate because I was ravenous, but I know better now. I was only at the very beginning of my food journey then, and my nutritional changes journey, and I know a lot better now. So I went home and I made sure I'd heard sort of nice things, messages of safety, giving myself signs of safety. So I rang a few of my close people, so I had lots of nice chats with people, which made me feel connected, because it's a lonely journey, is cancer. I'll talk about this separately because I think it deserves its own video, but it's very lonely. And there were times when I really felt alone. I don't want to go into that now. So I made sure I had some connection. My husband was taking good care of me. We had nice treats for dinner. He'd found a nice film for me. And I had lovely clean bedding already, which I'd done that morning. The house was nice and clean, because that makes me feel safe. When my environment's clean and tidy and orderly, I feel better. So everything was cozy and nice. And I made myself a promise that the very next day I would do what I could, regardless of how groggy I felt, that I would get out and have some fresh air. Now I had exercises to do for the breast, and I told you about the booklets and the library I could have started. So I'd already read up on the exercises I needed to do, and they were to be done 3 times a day, and that was all about really movement here. And so if you think I had a scar on the nipple, I had a scar under here, which I'll show another time. It's too cold to take. I've got two layers on. It's too cold. And I got up and I did feel pretty groggy. General anaesthetic. And they'd given me antibiotics when I was under, which I wish they told me, because I probably would have said no, but they did that because of the guide wire that had been in for 24 hours. And I did my exercises, and it hurt. It really did hurt. And I had all these bandages on, and I wanted to cry for my underarm and my breast. I felt so much guilt that it was my fault. I'd done that to them. That's how I felt. But then I went for, this was part of my mindset of taking my power back, of not handing myself over completely to the NHS. Yes, they've operated, they've taken the tumour away, and I'm following the process of what I need to do. But I'm in charge of this, and I'm in charge of this. And I'd made that mindset of, I need to show my body and my brain that I'm good, that I'm healthy, that I'm strong, and that we're healing. And the best way for me to do that was to go out for a walk. So I went for a 4-mile walk with my husband. I walked very slow, quite gingerly, but I walked all round a lovely green area near where I live, 4 miles, breathing in in, fresh air, and I went home. I did my 10-minute regime of exercises again, and I think I probably had a nap. And the bandages were still on, so I sort of couldn't shower. So I had to sort of have a wash. I can't remember how long I think was it a week possibly, and then I had to sort of wait for the bandages to sort of fall off. But I could see sort of the dye here, which was from the dye they'd put in to find the lymph, and there was blood, and it was upsetting. It was upsetting to see. But you know, I went out every day for a walk, and I did feel shit after the anaesthetic. It makes you feel groggy, and but that was my mindset of, this is how we heal. And the other thing I did, which I'll cover in the next video, was I'd sort of been dabbling in the gym, and there's a lovely lady I know who was a personal trainer there, and but I also knew her from a clinic where I had my tattoo removed. There's a whole other story. And Delphine, and I was in the gym one day before the surgery, and she came over to chat to me, and I started to cry and told her that I'd been diagnosed with breast cancer. I was really upset. I was crying I'd cry everywhere, and I was really upset, and she was so kind. And then I asked her, I said, when I get the all clear to exercise again, will you help me? Because I need to show my body and educate my body that I can heal, that I'm strong. I need to send positive messages, and also because so many people had been telling me that you might always have a problem on that side, you might always be weaker on that side, probably not great, you won't be able to lift heavy things. And I thought, I can't let that in. I can't. That's not me. No, I can't. I'm not going to be restricted for the rest of my life. So I think it was April, I met with her, and we grabbed a coffee, and we sort of made an agreement that she would help me as soon as my surgeon hospital has said it was okay. And doing that, I think it was a week or two after the surgery, but even having that meeting with her and having that conversation helped my mindset, because I was already laying the foundations. I was taking incremental steps to becoming the person I wanted to be, and that was somebody who took my health, my fitness and strength seriously. It was a priority. It was one of the top priorities. So that's what I did more straight away, of the mindset. I'd already decided I was stopping vaping, and I started that straight away as well. And the Alan Carr method, easy way, is you listen. I did it on Audible, so I was listening, but you read his book and you carry on with your vaping or smoking habits. Mine was vaping until you finish the book, and then you have a ceremonial last fix. So I was doing that. So I'd already made quite a few changes. And even though they're all small, so I'd only met with Delphine because I couldn't really exercise. But what she did say was go to the gym and just go on the bike, the stationary bike, and just do some gentle, and get out every day and walk. So I was doing those things, and I was doing some sort of very gentle stretches, and then the 3 times a day of the recovery exercises for the area that had been treated. So I was already sending the right messages to myself. So there we are, we're sort of like end of April and waiting for results, which I think was the 18th of May or something like that. So yeah, more to come next time.